Hey, Curtis,
Hey Oz,
I hear you got a movie this week.
I do have a movie this week. Oz, this week our movie marriage is The Ring meets The Frighteners and
Okay.
a whole lot of The Never-Ending Story. This week we're watching The Lord of the Rings: Return of the King Special Edition.
Oh, welcome back, listeners and viewers, to another week of Let's Talk About Flicks, that podcast you love so dearly. I'm one of your hosts, Oz,
I'm the other host, Curtis.
and we are back to talk about what was leading to be a pretty solid horror film,
Yeah.
The Ring. Oh, man. But no, we are back to talk about the third of the Lord of the Rings trilogy,
Yes.
Return
The
of the King.
Lord of the
To
Rings.
be honest, I was fully expecting 2/3 of your movie marriage to be to be Fellowship of the Ring,
Fellowship of
Two
the Ring.
Towers,
Hear me out. Hear me out. Fellowship meets The Two
yeah,
Towers.
The Hobbit meets Fellowship of the Ring meets the Two Towers. We've got no. We are back to talk about Return of the King, the movie that won every award possible.
Won them all.
Uh,
Everyone won the Nobel Prize.
huh? Yeah.
Won the Pulitzer.
It won the Pinewood Derby.
It won the NBA Most Improved Player.
That's right. And sixth man somehow.
It won Sixth Man.
You
Yep.
know, Super Bowl MVP. This movie it did it all. Elijah Wood was a little comical going out there receiving his Vince Lombardi trophy
He had the Stanley Cup in his hand.
with his big old feet. Oh, but no, we are back to talk about another movie, the fourth of five of Return Month. As
Yes.
we are we are recording this on the eve of school for both.
Yes. Yeah, for both of us tomorrow, kids are back in the building.
Yes, they are.
As all of our loyal listeners and viewers know, Oz and I both work in high schools.
Yep.
And kids are back tomorrow.
They're
So we're
back. The boys are
resting
back in town, and the girls too.
And yes, and everyone else in between. They're all back tomorrow.
They're all back in town. Because that's what we do in Right Town. We ship the kids out for the summer. it's,
Yep.
it's like the last 10 minutes of community pool. Everybody out.
It's the opposite of the end of Return of the King. Instead of
Yeah.
shipping out from the Grey Havens, you're arriving.
Exactly. Or the fact that this movie includes every possible actor that happened to be in New Zealand at that time.
Everyone from that quadrant
They're
of the
all
world
in.
is in
They're
this
all
movie.
in here. And it is, before we get to we want to give a shout out to Patreon subscribers, Don S., Aaron A., and Mandy K. Thank you for your patronage.
Thank you
And
times three.
And you had a shout out you wanted to throw
I
out.
do. I have a shout at.
A shout-
Again, as staff members are coming back to the building here as we record in mid-August of 2023, one of my school nurses, Nicole C, pulled me aside and she's like, "Curtis, I gotta tell you, I
It's like
found
a
your
secret.
podcast." And now my husband and I are addicted to it. And I'm even going back and listening to the back catalog. Like, oh, Nicole, you didn't just make my day. You just made my everything.
No kidding. Yeah,
That
it
was
made my day. Like when you text me that, they're like, "School nurse likes our show, and she and her husband listen to it." I'm like, "Oh, that's great! I love it."
I know. I couldn't get that text out fast enough. I was just so giddy. And I needed to
It
share
was.
that
It was
with you.
very, very positive news.
Yes.
So thank you for that, and welcome to the listener / viewership.
Yes.
I don't know how do you know how she consumes? the show?
I didn't ask. I think I thought I recalled her saying the word watch.
Oh,
So I'm
okay.
assuming that she's watching us on the YouTubes right now.
She probably watches while her husband streams the Spotify to.
Yes, in surround sound.
Yeah.
They watch us on YouTube, mute YouTube, and then stream it also from Spotify.
Yeah.
Nobody else in their block has internet access.
No, 7.1 surround sound audio
Yeah.
for us. Despite the fact we record in 2 channel, but don't tell them.
No, it's still coming through.
Welcome to the show, Nicole and Mr. C.
Mr. C.
Well, I don't know his name. So, No, it's your movie, and I'm
Uh-huh.
going to quickly run through our cast of
Yes,
characters and
yes,
then get out of the way
our
so that you can give
Encyclopedia Britannica list of
right,
characters.
so that you can give the Sparks Notes version of the
Uh-huh.
Cliff Notes version of this
Cliff
movie.
and I are going to be pals today.
Right. No kidding. So we start with your usual. If you're unfamiliar with Lord of the Rings trilogy, now's not the best movie to start with. You'll be a bit confused. But we do have our group here. We got Elijah Wood as Frodo Baggins, Ian McKellen as Gandalf the White, Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn, Sean Astin as Samwise Gamgee, Andy Serkis
Academy
as,
Award nominated Sean Astin, I believe.
well deserved as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could argue that he is the heart and soul of the Fellowship.
Yes.
Well, it wouldn't even be an argument because we'd agree.
We're skipping in Stephen A. We're going to argue just for the sake of arguing.
Yeah, yeah. So Andy Serkis playing Gollum and Smeagol, Billy Boyd, Dominic Moynihan are back. John Rhys Davies, Orlando Bloom is Legolas, Davies is Gimli. And then we got a bunch of others that aren't necessarily as major. Bernard Hill's Theoden, his daughter, or his niece, Eowyn, played by Miranda Otto. I know one that you had your eyes fixed on for quite a while. David Wenham is Faramir. Couldn't be a movie without Carl Urban.
No, and my eyes are clearly fixed on Carl Urban.
They are now, yes.
He is a handsome man, I will say.
I wouldn't, if I woke up tomorrow morning and like looked in the mirror and I looked like Carl Urban, I wouldn't be upset.
I thought that was going to be like if I woke up and I rolled over and my wife looked like Carl Urban.
Probably not. And so, yeah, we've got Carl Urban. We got, Hugo Weaving as Elrond, and
Got
Liv
Agent
Tyler
Smith.
Darwin, Kate Blanchett, Ian Holm, Sean Bean. You got Christopher Lee, Brad Dourif. Like, they're all here. They're all.
Everybody's here. The whole gang's here.
Yeah, they're all. The boys are back in town.
The boys are back in town. And we found our through line, Oz.
Yep, and I am done because it is all you, my friend.
Yeah, rehydrate after that, my friend. So, as I mentioned earlier, we watched the extended edition, so 4.5 hours, as opposed to last week's Return to Horror High, which clocked in, I believe, under an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So
Equally as entertaining, though. Like,
yes.
I would be hard pressed. Return of the King or Return to Horror High? Which one am I going to go with? One of them is on for the next day and a half. The other one is a commercial break.
Yeah, exactly. Is a meta.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, here we go. I am going to do my best to keep things tight as we run through the plot of this 4.5 hour epic. We open, folks, on Smeagol and Deagle, two hobbit-like creatures. Deagle, they're fishing, Oz. They're at the old watering hole. Deagle gets pulled into the water, and while he's at the basin of this pond or creek or whatever that they're in, he finds the ring.
These are hobbits. It was just a puddle.
It was a puddle from like a bear print.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like some large dog walked through and they went fishing and it's...
So Deagle finds the ring. He comes up with it and he kind of shows Smeagol, and they end up getting into a fight. Smeagol wants it. Smeagol chokes Deagle to death, Oz.
Yeah.
When he doesn't give him the ring, Smeagol says it's my birthday. And
that's his go-to every time he wants something.
every time.
No one actually knows when his birthday is.
You gonna finish a hot dog? It's my birthday.
It's my birthday.
You want done in the bathroom? It's my birthday.
Is that your new girlfriend? Can I have her? It's my birthday. Sure is cold out here. Can I have your coat? It's my birthday.
It's my birthday. You gonna finish that IV? It's my birthday. Oh yeah, so Smeagol chokes out Deagle, takes the ring, calls it his precious, disappears. We then get a little sequence of how the ring kind of corrupts Smeagol. He secludes himself away in a cave in the Misty Mountains there, Oz.
For centuries.
Yes, which is where the Fellowship finds him.
Yeah.
In the Fellowship of the Ring. As we go through this, by the way, Oz, I'm going to say that out of courtesy to your pal and mine, Stephen Colbert, I'm going to do my best.
Yeah, we're good pals, me and Steven.
Our good pal Steve.
Steven C.
Yeah, big Lord of the Rings
Like
Tolkien
beyond
fan.
big. Like,
Yeah, like his nerddom for Tolkien like outdoes my nerddom like for the X-Men, and your nerddom for horror, and yeah.
his nerddom for Tolkien outdoes Tolkien.
So yeah, so out of courtesy to our pal, I'm gonna do my best with get the pronunciations and all the words and names and locations correct. So we cut to Sam sleeping. Restless, paranoid Frodo is awake, kind of fidgeting with the ring. Gollum is there because again, Gollum at this point in the series is leading them to Mordor.
Right.
Sam remains hopeful that one day they'll make it home as he rations the lembas bread and ensures that Frodo eats, because Frodo is not taking care of himself these days, Oz.
No.
The larger party, made up of Aragorn, Gimli, everyone's favorite Gimli, Legolas.
Honestly, he's not my favorite.
He's not? No?
No.
John
No.
Rhys Davies doesn't do it for you?
Oh, I'm not saying he's bad, and he's just not my favorite.
No. Who is your favorite then?
Probably Sam.
Sam?
Yeah.
Sam is the everyman of this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Sam a lot. I like Legolas. Like, he's pretty awesome.
Pretty man also. Very pretty
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'd still rather look like Carl Urban.
Carl Urban, yeah, it's hard to not want to look like Carl Urban. So Aragorn, Gimli, Legolas, Gandalf the White, Theoden, and Eomer go to Isengard to confront the defeated Saruman.
None of these work as Scrabble words, by the way.
No, they're technically not,
Yeah,
not dictionary
they're not,
words.
Not in that dictionary.
So yeah, if you try to go with Theoden, it's just not going to work. Sorry.
I'm going to go Denethor down from the middle. Doesn't work.
No triple word score.
No,
sorry.
can't get triple word scores for Denethor.
No Denethor, sorry. They all go to Isengard, which is where that party kind of sort of ended near Isengard at the end of Two Towers,
right.
At the Battle of Helm's Deep in Rohan. So they go to Isengard to confront the defeated Saruman and his accomplice Grima Wormtongue, played by the indelible Brad Dourif.
I love Brad Dourif.
Yeah, he's great in this. This very small role, but he's great in it as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've sequestered themselves at the top of his tower. This is also part of the extended edition, and I think my favorite scene that they plugged back in from the extended edition. Otherwise, it kind of leaves you hanging, like what happened to Saruman.
Right.
So Pippin and Merry and Treebeard are all there. Another John Rhys Davies role, the voice of Treebeard.
Treebeard.
The latter reveals Saruman is locked in his tower. Yeah.
John Rhys Davies is Pippin. He does the voice.
Yes. John Rhys
They
Davies.
used a real tree for Treebeard.
John Rhys Davies as the tower.
Yeah.
They stretched their effects budget, so they just used a real tree for Treebeard.
He was, because he was the tallest actor of the Fellowship.
Yeah.
You got to be the tower as well.
You're the tower. You're the physical embodiment of the tree.
I think we overspent with our handmade chainmail, so you're gonna have to stand in here and be a tower.
They just put some googly eyes on a maple. Some pipe cleaners for legs. So Saruman says, we're all gonna die. Because he knows what Sauron's up to.
Yeah.
Aragorn will never be king, and he holds out the Palantir, the Seeing Stone, Oz. Just as Saruman is about to talk and kind of reveal Sauron's plan, an insulted Grima stabs Saruman in the back, and Saruman takes a tumble off the top of the several hundred feet tall tower directly onto this spiked water wheel.
Yeah.
One of the cooler death sequences, I think.
Yeah, it really was. It was like Grima was the equivalent of biting onto your fake cyanide tooth. In a James Bond movie, you're not revealing the enemy's plot.
You're not doing it. Pippin then picks up the Palantir, which also fell. It's taken by Gandalf for safekeeping because he knows how dangerous the Palantir is.
But not before Gandalf calls Pippin a fool yet again.
I get it, yes.
Gandalf really doesn't like Pippin.
No. What a bully.
A little bit. Yeah, Gandalf's not very nice to
No,
Pippin.
he's not nice to Pippin. Back to again. At this point, we kind of have a couple different story threads going here.
Yeah.
So we've got Gollum and Smeagol slash Smeagol talking to himself, doing the whole bit. Does he have dissociative identity disorder? Doesn't he?
I've always enjoyed the different, like the camera switch.
Yeah.
That Peter Jackson chose of whenever Smeagol's like Gollum is speaking or Smeagol is speaking, they cut the camera like they're talking to each other. But of course, we know it's one. I've always enjoyed that, watching Gollum Smeagol converse with himself.
Yeah. Sam overhears Gollum talking about killing the hobbits. Frodo refuses to send Gollum away. Sam says, "You've got to get rid of him," and Frodo refuses to do it. Frodo says we need him as a guide, but in reality, Frodo sees himself in Gollum.
Oh, very much
because,
so.
Because, as you mentioned before, Gollum had the ring for centuries, and it just crippled him. And redeeming Gollum to Frodo is almost kind of like a redemption for himself. So
right.
Back in Edoras, which is the capital of Rohan, Pippin looks into the Palantir, fool of a took, sees the eye, it overtakes him. Pippin sees Minas Tirith, which is the capital of Gondor, the neighboring community, the neighboring land, burning. And Gandalf deduces that I'm checking my notes here. Sauron deduces. Got that wrong. Sauron deduces that Pippin has the ring, and that Aragorn and men are a threat.
Yes.
Which kind of sets that whole thing in motion. The
Yeah.
fall of Gondor. Gandalf says Rohan must be ready if Gondor calls, and Theoden balks. What's Gondor ever done for us?
Right. Typical man.
Typical man.
Typical human.
Gondor didn't help Rohan in the past, so Gandalf's going to ride on his horse Shadowfax with Pippin to Minas Tirith to warn Gondor. And Gandalf tells Aragorn, you're going to have to take a different path to Gondor as well on his way out. We then go up to Rivendell, Oz, the main home of the elves. They got a couple different homes here in Middle Earth, but here
they got a summer home. This is
they got this is
main residence.
Yeah, this is Upper Wisconsin right here.
Yeah.
So Arwen begins a travel from Rivendell to take the ships from the Grey Havens. She sees a vision of a child running to an aged Aragorn. She returns to Rivendell to confront her father, Elrond.
Only in whispers. You're only allowed to whisper.
Yeah, if you're an elf, you can't talk at normal.
No. It's there. I don't know why, but every conversation in Rivendell must be no higher than 2 decibels, maybe.
Keep it down. Nana's trying to sleep.
Well, it doesn't help that they decide to have all their conversations in the library. Like
the ghost librarian from Ghostbusters is there.
As well as like the giant, tentacled librarian from Monsters University. They're
both there.
They're both on staff, so
they're both shushing each other as well.
Right.
Arwen asks Elrond to reforge the sword of man from the shards of Narsil into the great sword Andúril. I hope I'm getting all those right, Stephen.
Spot on.
Yeah.
Stephen Colbert. Comment down below for saying these wrong.
Comment below after you like and subscribe.
Right, yeah.
Like and subscribe. They comment below. Gandalf and Pippin arrive in Minas Tirith, a city made of white stone and has several levels. I love the design of Minas Tirith.
Yes.
They talk with Lord Denethor, the steward and caretaker of Gondor, because again, for centuries Gondor has had no king because that line has been broken. So he, just to show kind of where he really stands to the people and to himself, Denethor sits in this tiny chair that's next to the throne.
Right, yeah.
And that really says a lot about his character.
It's the throne's sidecar.
Yeah. He has the little goggles on the whole time.
Yeah.
A little silk scarf.
Right. This is my seat.
So Gandalf and Pippin arrive, and Denethor has Boromir's horn, because again, I was just doing the super quick recap.
Right.
Boromir died. He was part of the Fellowship, and he died defending Merry and Pippin.
But I'll give him that. Man, could he take an arrow?
Yes, he could, or 3.
or 7, and these are all like forearm thick arrows too.
Yeah, they are. It's like a,
The
like a
Uruk-hai
tree
go big.
branch arrow.
Yeah, the Uruk-hai go big or go home.
Yeah. So Denethor presumes his son is dead. Pippin confirms it. He says he died to save him, or as my notes said, Boromir died to shave him and marry.
Well, he did a good job because Pippin has no facial hair.
No, he died to shave him.
Underestimated how easy it is to get cut in half.
Pippin offers his service to Gondor. Gandalf,
All against Gandalf's wishes. Like
yeah. Before they walked in, Gandalf says, "Don't say anything."
Right.
And
You
Pippin, being
fool of
Pippin,
a cook.
just talks. Yeah.
Pippin's like, "Hey, his son's dead, and I'll serve you."
In the extra extended edition, you hear what Gandalf really says. There's a lot of 4-letter words.
Yeah, they cut to a lot of eye rolling.
Yeah. a lot of. Ugh. A lot of face palms from Gandalf.
Yeah, Pippin was not his favorite.
No.
That trip to Minas Tirith had to be terrible for Gandalf, where your only communication is the Hobbit you loathe.
Yeah, and again, it's a ride for 3 days.
Yeah.
So it's just him. It's just Gandalf and Pippin.
Oh my! No wonder he's on Shadowfax. Let's get this over with. Go. Oh, I'd take an eagle if I could. Let's go.
Shadowfax, can you ride louder?
Yeah. Why don't you take Pippin and I'll meet you there?
Shadowfax, why don't you ride me?
And I'll meet you there.
Yeah, we'll see there. We'll catch up later. So Gandalf says the enemy is coming. You got to light the beacons. You got to let Rohan know that you need help. Call for Rohan's help. Rally man together.
Yeah.
And Denethor says no. He thinks Gandalf wishes to supplant him with Aragorn. And Gandalf basically says, well, you're kind of right.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Yeah, he said, well, he says, you're not the king.
You know that throne you're not sitting in?
Yeah.
There's a reason why you're not sitting in it.
There's a reason.
My friend Aragorn has it.
So Pippin and Gandalf kind of go outside and they take a look, and there's storm clouds and lightning over Mordor that's slowly creeping towards Gondor. Again, very cool visuals there.
In fact, the visuals in this are just amazing.
Yeah. Gandalf tells Pippin about the Witch King of Angmar, who cannot be killed by any man.
I know. That comes up later for me.
Frodo, Sam, and Gollum approach Minas Morgul, which is one of the entry points into Mordor. It's kind of a big fortress that you can go through into Mordor. Let's see.
It's also where they receive their Amazon deliveries.
It is. Yep. It's there's a lot of contrast when the driver takes the picture on the doorstep there.
Well, and it's easy for them to turn around. Like, they were nice to have a nice big turnaround spot for these UPS trucks.
Yeah. Also home of the Nazgul, but right outside of Minas Morgul is the secret stairs, Oz, which Gollum knows about, and it's kind of the shortcut, the unseen way into Mordor.
Which, they're right there. Like, they're the secret stairs, but they look like stairs.
They're right there. They're not so secret if you're paying attention.
Not really. They're pretty noticeable.
Those are definitely stairs. On Oz, even though this was 2003, several years before superhero movies really, really kind of ramped in later in the decade, we get a sky beam.
Yeah, we do.
We get a sky beam, Oz. It goes up. Gandalf, Pippin, all of Minas Tirith sees. The Witch King emerges from Minas Morgul. Very cool sequence.
Yes.
A legion of orcs emerge. They march towards Gondor. Sam threatens Gollum, hey, I know you're up to no good. And questions, hey, what's in this tunnel you're leading us towards? Under the cover of night, orcs cross the river into Gondor and attack the river city of Osgiliath, which is kind of really the only last city that's between the orcs and Minas Tirith.
It's a suburb.
It is. It's the Naperville.
It's the burbs
of
right.
of Gondor.
They make their way through Arlington Heights.
If Minas Tirith is New York City, Osgiliath is Hoboken.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Smells a lot like Hoboken too.
It is. Faramir orders a retreat to Minas Tirith after they try to fight the orcs off, but there's just too many.
They didn't really try. I mean, I'm glad they didn't try very hard, but they really didn't try very hard. They like rode in and like almost like you hear the horses go like they saw how big they are. Go retreat.
Their legs do the
Yeah.
Let's see. As Faramir's men are retreating across this huge field between Osgiliath and Minas Tirith, again, it's one of my favorite shots in the whole movie. As the Nazgul are just picking these.
Oh yeah,
off.
It's so cool. Like you really get a sense like you guys are way out of your league with this.
Yeah.
With this fight, like
and it's the Nazgul riding the quote unquote fell beasts, which are basically again we call them dragons. They're not actually dragons, but whatever. Right. For all intents and purposes, they're dragons.
They're Tolkien's dragons.
Yeah. As they're getting picked off, Gandalf rides out all by himself from Minas Tirith and casts from his staff light, which drives off the Nazgul, saving Faramir and what remains of his men.
That staff does a lot. Like, I don't know why they didn't lean on the power of that staff more. Mm-hmm. Other than I know Gandalf is supposed to kind of be like impartial.
Sure.
It's kind of supposed to be Sweden in this, but it's like whenever they needed to, that staff seemed to be able to save.
It did. It's maybe they had to put a bigger LED light bulb in there to cast off the whole army.
Well, and I think it ran on D batteries, and those are hard to find.
They are, especially in Minas Tirith.
Yeah.
You can't just go down to the old Casey's General Store.
The Radio Shack had closed just a couple of years prior, and they had that liquidation sale. And
it's really a shame.
Yeah,
they stacked up on speaker wire, though.
Yeah, the Hoboken residents bought all the D batteries.
Hoboken residents.
And that's just it. So it was like one shot at this. Yeah. We had one shot at this with the light, so I'm glad it worked.
Used up the rest of the batteries. the ever-ready batteries.
On his power staff.
Faramir tells Gandalf he's seen hobbits in Ithilien just days before, because again in the Two Towers, Faramir runs into them.
Yeah.
In Minas Tirith, Gandalf and Pippin light the beacons. They sneak up. They defy Denethor's orders. They light the beacons.
I like officially. Yeah. Go ahead.
So officially calling for aid from Rohan. Go ahead.
Yeah, I really like this scene where like Gandalf's like standing watch for Pippin. You know what? You can almost see him just like whistling as he's trying.
He's like twiddling something.
Nothing to see over here. Like scatting and tap dancing for attention.
Nothing to see from the old Gandalf.
Pippin's not climbing this tower.
The old sleight of hand.
That's right.
In Edoras, Aragorn sees the beacon, tells Theoden, who basically looks into the camera and says, "Rohan will answer."
Oh man, I mean, I finally could relax knowing that Rohan was going to come to the rescue.
Yes, on the edge of my seat.
How is this going to happen?
Are they? Aren't they? This was really the Rachel and Ross moment of the whole movie.
yeah. It's like Rohan and Minas Tirith were on a break.
Yeah, Theoden and Denethor, are they going to get back together here or what?
Right? They have a kid together.
Yeah, they do. Theoden orders his riders to gather at Dunharrow, which is like a war camp.
Yeah.
That they'll ride in 3 days after gathering from across the land. Denethor, back in Minas Tirith, screams at Faramir for not bringing him the ring, and basically tells him, "I liked your dead brother Boromir more than you."
Yeah. Can I drop it here? Can I do this? The wrong kid died.
Oh, thank you.
That's pretty much what he gave him.
It is.
Dewey Cox's dad.
I should have thrown Dewey Cox into the movie.
Eating an extremely juicy tomato.
Oh yeah, that was shooting everywhere.
It's like
it's the grossest
really
eating scene of all time. That rivaled was it Monty Python and was it, God. That's not Life of Brian. Meaning of Life. Monty Python, the Meaning of Life. Yes. Yeah, that whole eating scene.
Yeah, it's like Gushers aren't even that juicy.
No, Gushers. Should have switched to Shark Bites.
They ran out of tomatoes, so he just like tips a pack of Gushers into his.
Puts one between his molars on the side. Arr!
We can totally do Return of the King on a budget.
Yeah. We got a tree for Treebeard. We got gushers standing in,
We got
in
this
for
down.
tomatoes.
We got it down. We both work in education. I'm sure I could
Yeah.
rather up some small kid to play the Hobbits.
Yeah, Peter Jackson and I got what studio was it? It wasn't New Line. Was it New Line?
Yeah,
I
New Line. Yeah.
Yeah. How many hundreds of millions of dollars did they pour into this? We could have done this for like $10,000.
Yeah, $100 million budget on this one, but yeah, we easily could have had this. We could do it for less than $10,000. Like seriously, we need some tree branches, some gushers, and some small kids, and we've got this down.
And a bowling ball for the plant.
Yeah, it's like I could pick up a key ring and we could call it the One Ring. Like whatever, we got this. Coming soon to a theater near you.
Yeah.
We get the story done in a quarter of the time.
Low budget Return of the King.
That's right.
Store brand Return of the
King. Right. This is Wish.com, Return of the King.
So Denethor admits to Faramir that, yeah, I wish I could basically trade your life for Boromir's. I would rather you be dead and Boromir be back alive.
Right.
And because I really don't like you, I'm going to send you and your men back to Osgiliath. You know, that Osgiliath that they already retreated from?
Yeah, once you head on back there.
Yeah. You retreated. You go back and take that city.
Yeah.
Very solemn music plays as Faramir and his men leave Minas Tirith and basically all die in a hail of arrows.
Oh, yeah.
Just slaughtered. Let's see. Back to Cirith Ungol, which is the stairs and the tunnel and that whole pass into Mordor. So they're halfway up the stairs. Gollum basically frames Sam for eating all their food.
Right.
He they're asleep, and he puts some crumbles from the lembas bread on them, tosses it off, and he's been eating all your food, Master Frodo.
To be fair, Frodo wasn't eating it, so
true. Well, if you're not, can I have
right.
It's my birthday. It's my birthday.
You gonna eat that lamb's bread?
Yeah,
it's my birthday.
Why don't you go finish that outside?
Supplemental income.
Supplemental income. Just go to the back and wash that perfume off.
Right.
Sam repeatedly punches Gollum, and he's like speed bagging him basically on the ground.
He was like Mike Tyson's taking notes.
Yeah. Sam offers to carry the ring for Frodo to ease the burden.
Right.
And of course, Gollum had been playing up on Frodo's paranoia, like he's going to try to take the ring, and so Frodo tells Sam to leave.
Yeah, I'll carry it just for a little bit.
Yeah. Nope. You get out of here, Sam. Sam breaks down and just sits down and cries while Frodo and Gollum proceed. Back at Dunharrow and Rohan, not enough men have arrived. A discouraged Theoden says, "We're still going to go, though." Eomer tells Merry and Eowyn, his sister, "You can't fight. War is the province of men."
Oh, and Eowyn is thirsty for Aragorn.
Yes, she is. Oh, that is an understatement. Full
court press. Like she starts every sentence with, "Is today your birthday?"
I almost got a spit take out of me.
Almost, I saw that. But yeah, she is. You could tell she's related to every other man in the
yeah. They're all either my brother or cousins.
Right. Like she even looked at Gimli for a second. It's like,
I got a dwarf, I got a tree, or I got this guy, this hunk of man meat.
Or the future of man. Like
yeah.
Yeah, I don't care if he's hot for an elf. Like
Elrond surprises Aragorn. So Elrond shows up there. He took Arwen's feedback and says that, as I burp into the microphone, says that my daughter Arwen's life is tied to the fate of the ring, and so basically my daughter's going to die if you don't succeed.
Yeah.
So he gives Aragorn the reforged sword, Andúril, and tells him, you got to take the path of the dead. You're not going with the Rohirrim. You're going this other way.
It bothered me, and this doesn't show up in my 3-2-1s, but like Elrond just like appears.
Yes.
This
and that's a long ways too.
Yeah, and it's like he never really left home much either. Like he's a
homebody.
Yeah, and it just seemed like I get the whole Arwen is dying thing. I get that, but it just like Peter Jackson and Tolkien did an excellent job of trying to keep things from looking convenient. But like Elrond just showing up at the right space at the right exact moment with the exact red herring needed to make
Yes.
this movie. It's like, oh, hey, you guys talking about a sword? Because I'm here with a sword.
You need a MacGuffin? Because if I
Yeah.
got a MacGuffin for you.
It's like Beetle in Breath of the Wild. Whenever you need arrows, you just have to
he's at the stable.
There
He's
he
always
is.
a Beetle. He's always there. Yaha! by the way, Oz,
that's why I referenced it.
yes,
I
yes.
saw your
Yeah,
shirt all over.
my shirt, for those watching on YouTube, I'm wearing a button-down shirt that has Koroks from the last couple of Zelda games.
And even if you're listening on a podcast, he's still wearing it.
I am. I have not taken it off in the meantime, just because you can't see me.
Right.
So my daughter, a huge Zelda fan, sees me wear the shirt for the first time a couple weeks ago, and she starts calling me Korok Daddy.
Oh, which is what your wife calls you too.
Yeah, it's actually Korok Daddy sounds like the name of like the world's nerdiest street pimp.
Oh yeah. Hey girl, Korok.
Hey, it's Korok Daddy. I got some ear medicine if you need it.
Right. Oh man.
So yes, Elrond gives Aragorn Andúril. Going back to your thirsty comments, Aragorn tells Éowyn, "I cannot give you what you seek."
Yeah.
Shot her down.
Yeah.
Try to be gentle about it.
He did, and I'll give him that. But he really wasn't helping matters either. Like, she's trying to like saddle a horse, and he's like, "Let me help you," and I'm like, dude, you're tied to Arwen. Like, get out of her life. Quit playing games with her heart as the back.
Quit shoving your manly butt
Right.
chin right in her face.
Right. She doesn't need to see up close how stubbly your face is.
Yeah. So Aragorn takes off in the Pass of the Dead, and Legolas and Gimli go with him. Like, we've been with you this far. We're going to go with you to the end. Legolas, of course, expositions that the dead of the mountain were cursed by Isildur, one of Aragorn's forebears, for failing to fight when called upon. A disguised Éowyn takes Merry under her cloak and rides the battle.
Whispers to him amongst like hundreds of galloping horses, but yet very crystal clear.
Yeah.
She whispers in the highest fidelity.
Yeah. I'm really kind of hitting fast forward here. So Aragorn and Gimli and Legolas, they end up in like these catacombs, and the dead come out again, very Frighteners-esque. Which super fun Peter Jackson movie.
Yeah, oh yeah, underrated for sure.
Yes. So Aragorn confronts the dead's leaders. There's like ghost soldiers coming out of the walls. There's like skulls falling from everywhere. A very horror-esque.
This is one of the few scenes in the trilogy where Peter Jackson really leans into his horror upbringing.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's kind of like the like Sam Raimi in Spider-Man 2 with the operating room scene.
Yeah. The arms are just going everywhere. Yeah.
There's the guy I know and love.
Yep, there he is. Aragorn is able to command them because he's Isildur's heir.
Luckily, he had that sword. They just gave him.
Yeah, good thing. It's my birthday.
Can I have that sword, Elrond?
It's my birthday.
My birthday.
They escape the cave. As they escape, they see like pirate ships, corsairs, coming up the river to join in the attack on Minas Tirith, to join with the forces of Mordor.
Right.
Sailing against Gondor. The dead's leader then comes out and says, "We'll fight with you.
Yeah,
we're with you."
Yeah, they blew their first chance.
Yeah. I'll just go on to this. I'm skipping around a little bit here, but whatever, just for continuity.
Yeah.
Back to the river, Aragorn tells the Corsairs to stop, and it's just Aragorn, Gimli,
I
and
did enjoy that. Like, halt.
Just three guys.
Yeah.
And the Aragorn tells Legolas, "You fire a warning shot," and Gimli kind of tips his bow, and the arrow goes directly into Peter Jackson.
Yeah. Right.
Just fun little like director cameo there that tickled my funny bone. Back to Minas Tirith, the forces of Sauron are descending there. There's thousands, tens of thousands of orcs in this huge field here. Faramir's horse comes back dragging Faramir. He's the only survivor of this charge.
Luckily.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like he survived though.
Another kind of horror moment here, as the forces get close enough to Minas Tirith that their catapults can reach in.
Yeah.
They release the prisoners, so more of Faramir's troops return. Only it's just their heads.
It's basically cannon fodder. Like,
Yes, almost literal cannon fodder.
Yeah.
Lobbing these dead soldiers' heads over the wall.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Yeah. Let's see. Gandalf rallies the troops as the sides start to exchange catapult fire. The Nazgul attack. And, oh man, I love the shrieks of the Nazgul as they attack and how it affects the people. It just paralyzes them.
Well, this big battle here it's very, very similar to like the big battle in Return of the Jedi that we were just talking about a couple of weeks ago. Like, you just sit back and you're just in awe of everything going on. And this kind of has that same vibe to it.
Yeah, and also similar to Return of the Jedi, there's 3 plot threads going through here as well.
Right.
You know, we got Frodo, Gollum, Sam, we got everything going on at Minas Tirith, and then we have Aragorn, who's, you know, and Gimli and Legolas as well. So back to Cirith Ungol with Gollum and Frodo. They enter the cave, and again we get another horror movie moment here.
Oh yeah,
as they walk right in, and it's a spider's den, is what it is.
Yeah.
Gollum has led Frodo into the den of Shelob, who's basically just a giant like demon spider.
And it's really gross. Like, very articulated spider. Like,
yes. Great effects too. You know, this was
that's
made
what I mean,
in the early aughts. You know, 20 years ago, this movie was released.
Yeah, this and Arachnophobia do a great job with their fake spiders.
Yeah, not so much 8-legged freaks.
No.
Frodo's doing everything he can. Gollum is taunting him at this point, so Frodo knows that Gollum has set him up.
Yeah.
Frodo activates the Light of Elendil, which is basically just like a snow globe kind of.
Yeah, it's a lightsaber.
It holds it up. It kind of, you know, the light, kind of similar to Gandalf's staff in a way, kind of holds off the evil. Frodo loses the light, of course, because he gets stuck in some webs. Uses his sword Sting to free himself, but then, of course, as he gets freed, he lives. Sting gets stuck in there and he can't get it out.
Right.
Gollum then attacks the unarmed Frodo on the other side of the cave. Says the precious made us do it. As he keeps attacking Frodo, Frodo says, I gotta destroy it, and eventually Gollum falls into like this big chasm as they're fighting.
Yeah. And that's the end of Gollum.
Yeah. Yep. And that's it. The boys are back in town.
It's almost. Sam's on his way.
He's on his way, yeah. Frodo tries to leave Cirith Ungol, but eventually is caught by Shelob.
In a very chilling, suspenseful scene. As you know, one of those where the audience sees what's happening, but the main character doesn't, and you see her descending so quietly, and you're like, oh, it's just...
You're just yelling at Frodo, get out of there!
It's such a horror movie moment, and it's so hard. Like, plus it's just a gigantic, detailed spider, which makes it gross.
And at that moment, you know, Shelob has stung with its big stinger, stung Frodo, paralyzed him, wrapped him up in webs. Sam emerges. He after finding the discarded lembas bread that Gollum had thrown out, he emerges with the Light of Elendil and with Sting, Frodo's sword.
Made record time up
he did.
those stairs.
he goes when he's training. You know, he goes to the local football stadium and just runs stairs.
Well, he's from Philly, so he trains a lot where Rocky trained.
He does. He just runs up and down the stairs.
Right. Sam's from Philly, not Hoboken.
Not Hoboken. He's from Philly, a little further down the East Coast. Frodo, let's see, Sam fights off Shelob, stabs it, Shelob runs off. Frodo is referencing another Monty Python, not Monty Python. I'm going to reference The Princess Bride here. Frodo is mostly dead.
Mostly dead, yes.
Mostly dead. Slightly alive, mostly dead.
Yeah.
Have fun storming the castle.
He looks dead, though.
Yeah, he does. He's cocooned in webs, and Sam is basically mourning Frodo at this point, and then he hears orcs coming. Mm-hmm. So Sam has to leave Frodo's purported corpse lying there.
Yeah.
So these orcs run up, and Sam is in earshot, and of course we get an orc expositioning.
Yeah.
This fella ain't dead.
Yeah.
Shelob just paralyzed, or stuck him and paralyzed him.
The orc that's listening keeps turning and looking at Sam to make sure Sam's getting it all.
You getting this?
Right.
Huh?
Listen, Sammy, he ain't dead.
He ain't dead, Samwise.
More like Sam stupid.
So the orcs take Frodo to the Tower of Cirith Ungol. Oh, back to Minas Tirith. We'll kind of go through the big battle here. The orcs have this gigantic battering ram that's like a big, like, stone wolf head. Very cool. That they use to knock down the door. Trolls pour in. The first level of Minas Tirith is overrun. The Witch King on his fell beast breaks Gandalf's staff, which is another extended edition moment. Just as the Witch King is about to kill Gandalf, we hear the horns of Rohan, Oz, and every time I watch this movie, I get chills at this moment.
Yeah.
As 7,000 riders from Rohan appear on this ridge with the sun rising behind them out of the east, and Theoden is pumping up his troops.
Yeah.
Ride for ruin, and he's
riding
just riding,
tapping their swords like like William Wallace would do.
Basically,
When he blows the horn, it's La Cucaracha.
It's my birthday.
It just strikes fear into all that hear it.
Yeah.
It's the cockroach!
Yeah. In the meantime, in Minas Tirith, Denethor has gone crazy. He's basically taken Faramir's body to a pyre. Is going to burn himself in Faramir to death. Faramir's still alive, by the way.
Yeah, because he realizes now, I'm not a good dad.
No.
Right? I sent my son off to die. Yeah, you specifically told him to go do that.
Yes, you did. And you told him you didn't love him. You loved his brother more.
Right, yeah. Wrong kid died.
Wrong kid died. Gandalf and Pippin, of course, arrive and save Faramir. Denethor is still lit on fire and then runs off a cliff, basically.
Yeah, he basically pulls a Sauron and takes a nosedive.
Yeah. Back on the field of battle,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Rohan, their riders, they are the cavalry, quite literally the cavalry. They arrive and they tear into these orcs, Oz.
Yeah. But the orcs weren't ready from behind. Like it's one of those, like when your attack is going forward and then you get surprised that. So yeah, they do. You're absolutely right. They just shred through this orc army.
Yeah. They're driving them back to the river, back by Osgiliath, and as they're driving these orcs off, some of the recruited men of the east come out, and it's got the Haradrim, I want to say, are the name of the people, but they're more importantly they're riding these gigantic elephants, which are like elephants but 5 times as large. And they're like mammoths, with like quad tusks and they're really sweet. They're basically fresh off the set of 300. Yeah, and they're just tearing through. The riders.
They got like barbed wire between the tusks. Like it's very creative way that they're filmed and just thought up.
And so they're taking it to the riders. Back in the field, the Witch King's fell beast incapacitates Theoden. And of course, Eowyn steps between them. She cuts off the fell beast's head. Mary kind of stabs the Witch King in the back, and the Witch King is like, "I am no man." And we get the moment where she peels her mask off, her helmet off, says, "I am no man," and then stabs him in the face.
Yeah. And then he kind of shrieks and screams, and it was a little wimpy on the Witch King's part.
He kind of implodes, like into himself. The orcs who retreated to the river encounter Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli. They arrive on the Corsair ships. Yeah, and they're kind of like, what are you three gonna do? Yeah, well, and it was kind of funny because they see the ships coming, and again, like you've got the orcs and Rohan shows up, and then the Oliphants show up, and then the Corsairs show up, and everybody initially is almost like there's no way we're gonna win. That they see the Corsairs and they know there's more enemies, and then suddenly, like you said,
Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli just like leap over the side, and then
Along with thousands of ghost warriors.
all of the ghost warriors, and
Yes.
it's pretty much game over.
Yeah, they take out everybody in the field. The elephants, the orcs. Yeah, I love.
They're
Yeah, it's
like a
just-
swarm of ants.
Yeah, basically. Theoden dies with Éowyn there. Aragorn releases the dead from their oath. They fade away. Aragorn then uses Kingsfoil to heal Éowyn and Merry because they touched the
Right.
the Witch King.
Yeah.
So, back as I take a deep breath here,
No kidding.
and we're getting into Act 3 here. This is basically Act
I was
3.
just about to make that, and that
Yeah.
wraps up Act 1.
Yeah. So we're back in Cirith Ungol. Frodo awakes. He's surrounded by orcs. They're fighting over Frodo's spoils, basically. Sam approaches, and a huge fight amongst these orcs break out. And so Sam is able to kind of like sneak through, take out a couple of guys, and sneak Frodo out of there. Frodo's like, they have the ring.
Yeah.
And Sam's like, no, I took it off you when I thought you were dead. So he had the ring, and he technically was a ring bearer.
Yeah.
Frodo snatches it back, and they continue. Another cool shot. We see the great eye like scanning.
Yeah.
the
Oh,
area.
yeah. It's so cool. Like spotlighting.
Yeah,
It senses but can't find.
yeah. So Frodo and Sam disguise themselves as orcs. In Gondor, the heroes are still hopeful that Frodo and Sam are out there, still going. But they know that in Mordor, there's thousands of orcs between Frodo and Sam and Mount Doom. How are they going to get there?
Right.
And so Aragorn says, we're going to use ourselves as bait. We're going to draw the eye's attention. We are going to march on the Black Gate of Mordor with everything we have and distract them, the eye. To help to bait the trap, Aragorn picks up the Palantir and challenges Sauron, showing him Elendil's sword.
Mm-hmm.
As the men march toward the Black Gate, Sam and Frodo eventually get caught up in some troops. They do eventually escape. And then we see Frodo and Sam just kind of literally staggering in some cases towards Mount Doom. You know,
Yeah.
the weight, the literal and figurative weight of the ring is weighing down Frodo. At the gate, Aragorn calls out Sauron, and we get, and again, in the extended edition, we get the mouth of Sauron.
Oh, yeah. Very
Who-
teethy-esque.
Mm-hmm. Who has Frodo's mithril shirt that they
Right.
took off him at Cirith Ungol. I was just kind of refreshing my memory while I was eating dinner on the main plot points, and I had never seen the person who played the mouth of Sauron.
Uh-huh.
You'll never guess who it was. Do you remember the gyro pilot from the Road Warrior?
Yeah. Is that him?
Bruce Spence is the mouth of Sauron.
I saw Bruce Spence down here in the cast list, but I didn't put two and two together who it was. Good for him. I told you every available actor in New Zealand.
Yeah, they got them all. They went back to the Road Warrior. I'm gonna recap a bit from one of our other episodes when they had the set of the Road Warrior where people could pay to have sex on the set under a tent.
And if you paid enough, we'll feature you in the movie.
Yeah, we'll pull. Well, when you least suspect it, we'll pull the blanket
We'll
off.
pull the sheet right off you. Surprise us all with the position that you're in.
And that's how they found Bruce Spence. He was he thought they were doing that same bit on the set of Lord of the Rings.
He showed up ready. Actually in that costume. He brought his own.
He even brought his own blanket.
He's into some freaky stuff.
Aragorn eventually cuts off the head of the mouth of Sauron. Says he doesn't believe Frodo's dead. Rallies the troops. And basically just they attack the gate.
Yeah.
Frodo passes out as they climb Mount Doom. Sam puts him over his shoulder and carries him.
Sam was a volunteer fireman in the Shire, so he's used to this.
Yeah.
And a professional wrestling fan.
Yeah.
So,
Fireman's carry.
Fireman's carry were nothing to Samwise Gamgee.
Put him in a helicopter spin too, and then they both got dizzy.
Exactly. Tornado punches his friends sometimes.
He did the old Roddy Piper eye poke to Gollum.
That's how he got. Yeah, that's the fight with Gollum. That's how it got started. He started punching him in the corner, waiting for Frodo to count to 10. He only punched him 10 times.
Listening for the crowd to count along with.
Yeah.
So the men are surrounded. There's this huge fight in front of the Black Gate. The Nazgul are descending on the men, and right then, as the Nazgul are diving down, about ready to finish off the men, a moth flies in front of Gandalf. We get another one of those moments in this movie, guys.
Yeah.
And the eagles appear. Another one of those moments every time I watch this movie where I just get chills when the eagles descend.
Right.
And take out the Nazgul. In the meantime, Sam and Frodo are at Mount Doom, and who appears as but Gollum?
Elizabeth Taylor.
Liz
Taylor's there.
Liz Taylor's there.
Summer's in Mount Doom. And
Boys are back.
It's the cast of the Warriors. They're all there.
They're all there, clinking the bottles and everything.
Boys are back in town.
Boys are back in town. It's my birthday. Frodo enters, stands on a ledge, is holding the ring on a chain. Sam yells, "Destroy it! What are you waiting for? Just let it go!" Frodo transfixes his eyes on the ring, Oz, and he turns to Sam and says, "The ring is mine."
Yeah.
Puts the ring on and disappears, which immediately gets the eye's attention.
Oh, yeah.
And I love the reaction shot of the eye, like the pupil gets big, and then it's just like, whoa! And then it turns from the Black Gate over to Mount Doom, and immediately you cut back to the battle at the Black Gate, and you see the Nazgul just break off from the pack and just beeline towards Mount Doom.
It's like they all realize we've been had.
Yeah. In the meantime, Gollum sneaks up behind Sam, hits him with a rock, jumps on the invisible Frodo. And there's a big struggle between them. Gollum eventually bites off Frodo's finger to free the ring. Frodo fights back again, and they both take a tumble off the ledge. Gollum, with the ring in hand, falls into the lava, eventually dissolving the ring. Frodo's hanging off the ledge. Sam eventually pulls him up. The moment the ring dissolves, all the orcs at the Black Gate panic and just run away, and the eye just screams, and the Dark Tower crumbles. The eye blows up. Mount Doom erupts, and as the soldiers are cheering, and Mount Doom basically just blows up, all of Frodo's friends and basically the Fellowship members realize Frodo and Sam are still there, and they're probably dead. Frodo and Sam run out of the opening in the mountain. They end up on a rock, just surrounded by lava. Just lava everywhere. Another moment I just love here. Frodo talks
there too. Still,
he was. Just one limb left. He's there. Frodo and Sam had the high ground.
Right? No, they took the high ground. You stayed on there, Andy. We're gonna stay for you.
I have the high ground.
The eagles show up. Anakin yells "No!" as they leave him behind. And
Frodo talks of the Shire. Sam talks of Rosie Cotton, ribbons in her hair, and his desire to marry her. They hug each other. We fade from black, and then as we fade back in, Gandalf on an eagle appears out of a cloud and rescues the hobbits.
I bet it was really hot in that lava island that they are on.
I would imagine that was warm.
Yeah.
That was quite warm. Frodo wakes up in a bed. Gandalf is there. We get some weird slow-mo laughing. The others enter.
It was weird. Not uncomfortable, but just weird.
I'm really going to speed through this part here. Oz is crowned, Oz? Oz is crowned.
Surprise, everybody! I'm
Oz
the
is
king
crowned,
of men.
King of Gondor by Gandalf.
I can't even be the king of cartoons. Let's be the king of men.
Aragorn is crowned king of Gondor by Gandalf. Oz is there. Aragorn speaks of peace. Arwen emerges. She's there. They kiss.
She jumps on the bed and starts laughing with the hobbits.
In slow motion.
Right.
Aragorn tells the four hobbits they bow to no one. All of Gondor bows down to the four hobbits.
That's the scene that gets me every time.
Them all bowing down. Yeah. The Hobbit's journey home. I love that they get a scowl from the local grump as they
I know,
enter
I
town.
know, I love her. She's one of those too. Like, there's a few of these that you just feel like you've probably seen in every Peter
Yeah.
Jackson movie.
Well, and like every town has the character, but yeah, one of those actors that's in like every Peter Jackson.
Yeah, like I know in Fellowship when Bilbo was trying to get away and like his cousin was hunting him down or whatever. She's the mother in Dead Alive,
Oh yeah.
and every time I see her, even
You're
though
right. Yep. Yep.
I'm like, oh, I'm so glad she's in this.
Let's see. We see Sam eyes Rosie at the bar, goes to talk to her. We cut to Sam and Rosie's wedding. Frodo finishes Bilbo's book. Gandalf takes Bilbo and the four hobbits to the Grey Havens, where Bilbo, Elrond, all the elves go on the ships along with Frodo.
Yeah.
Frodo goes too. And then we end with Sam returning to the Shire, hugging his wife and two kids, says, "I'm back." And that, Oz,
Is the Return of the Sam.
The Lord of the Rings, Return of the King Extended Edition.
Yeah. Whew, nice job, my friend. Under an hour.
Yes, I was hoping to keep it even shorter than that, but
Yeah, I jumped in more than I anticipated.
that's fine. That's the bit.
Sorry.
At this point in the show, folks, Oz and I each give our own unique rating to the film in question. In this case, the 4.5-hour Oscar-winning epic Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. My friend, how would you rate this flick?
10. Just perfect 10.
Perfect 10?
Yep. I'm not even going to be funny with it. Just 10.
Nope, just 10.
Yep.
Okay.
What are you giving it?
I'm giving it 9.5 Frodo fingers.
Okay. Yeah, well, he's only got 9.5, so.
Yeah, so still a great score.
Yeah.
9.5 Frodo fingers. Next up, folks, we got Outside Insights. To our loyal listeners, Oz and I have been scouring the interwebs, searching for unprofessional reviews that tickle our funny bones, and we hope they tickle yours as well. Oz, what is your Outside Insight?
I have 2 half-star reviews.
Ooh.
Okay. This first one is from Robbo on Letterboxd. He gives it a half star, but he still loves it. He says, -4 stars for the last 10 minutes hammering home that Frodo and Sam aren't in love, despite everything we've seen for 3 movies. He gave Sam a forehead kiss. A forehead kiss. So I think Robbo loves the movie, but he realizes these two hobbits should be together. My second,
He's shipping them, as
he
you
is
could say.
shipping for sure. My second is the half-star review by Rudra Chanchpara on Letterboxd. I think he's confused. He says, "This is my review for the Lord of the Rings trilogy. If this is one of the best trilogies of all time, I don't know films or anything about cinema. No emotional connect at all. Not a single decent action sequence. Bad screenplay, no character development, introduction of new characters in every hour. Where is the villain? Waited for him to see in the credits. 2, where is he?" I agree, Rud Chanchpara. You don't know film or anything about it.
What more did Ruth Chanpara want out of the villain? Did you want to cut back to like the tower with the great eye and have like Doc Ock arms coming out of the back
Well,
of it?
he says waiting to see him in the credits. So apparently we needed to credit whose eye it was.
It's Marty Feldman's eye.
I guess. It's big enough.
Yeah, that's definitely Marty Feldman's eye.
So those are my 2 half-star reviews of Return
Okay.
of the King. What do you got?
My Outside Insight is a 1 out of 10. I think we both were looking at
Yeah.
the low-hanging fruit here. Left in December of 2003, so this is right after it came out. And this is left from Sveta Aniston. I think that's Jennifer's
Niece.
cousin.
Cousin.
Sveta.
Yeah, Sveta.
Aniston. Left on my birthday, actually, in 2003.
Of course it's your birthday.
It's my birthday.
Can you leave
my
this
birthday.
review? It's my birthday.
Sure, I can see why people like this movie. They are just easily pleased. They see a big battle scene and they're happy. They see orcs, and still more orcs, and they think, wow, these orcs must be metaphors for all the bad people out there on this evil planet. How deep. What geniuses are Tolkien and Peter Jackson? They see a helicopter view of a battlefield, great graphics of a fictional city, a realistic monster spider, and they're happy. They see good triumph over evil, and they think that's the way it should be because it's different from real life, I guess. it gives them hope. It must be great to be able to love this movie. So Sveta Aniston only watches movies that have no hope.
That's right. Hope floats is not what she wants to
No, hates Hope Floats.
Oh, hates it.
Can't stand Hope
I don't want a
Floats.
movie with any hope.
Also hates the actress Hope Davis.
I was going to go there. I was going to hate Hope Davis.
Can't stand Hope Davis.
Stands the king of stand-up comedy. Can't stand him. Hates Bob Hope.
Bob Hope, nope. With or without golf club in hand. Can't stand Bob Hope.
Can't do it.
All right, folks, it's that moment you've all been waiting for, our signature segment, the 3-2-1, in which Oz and I each share 3 goods, 2 bads, and 1 about the film in question, The Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, Extended Edition. Oz, what are your 3 goods?
I'm going to keep these, detailed, minor, but still focused.
Sure.
Shelob is absolutely disgusting, but just an absolute great character. In all 3 of these movies, and in many, many, many horror movies that I've ever seen, when I can get uncomfortable in my skin just by watching something, and that's what Shelob does to me here.
Yeah.
Not a fan of spiders. Bigger and hairier, the worse. And so when I see that, it's just
a big hairy spider.
A big hairy spider. My second is Legolas's takedown of the Oliphant and everything on it, complete with the Flintstone-esque slide down the truck.
Yeah.
It's just that it's part of that on-running joke that Gimli and Legolas have of keeping track of how many people they kill, and so it's all CGI, but it's still just fun.
There's a moment in The Simpsons that sends up that whole Flintstones opening. And it's Homer is leaving work, the end of work, horn goes off, and he's singing the Flintstones song. But he's like, beat the Simpsons, and he slides down like the cooling tower, and just drop kicks through the window of his car into his car and just drives away.
I'll have to check that one out. My third good is this is just I still feel there are certain trilogies that aren't really a trilogy. This isn't a trilogy. It's 3 movies of one story. You and I are nerds enough to know they filmed all 3 of these at the same time, yada, yada, yada. But so therefore, this isn't your traditional trilogy where it potentially takes a step down because of time. They all made them at the same time. It's just an absolute, just magnificent end to this trilogy. Yeah. That's my third good, is that it wrapped it up. It didn't pale in comparison to its predecessors. It just tied it all up as it's supposed to, and that's what you want out of a story concluding movie. So, what do you got for your 3 goods?
I'll go with the first of my goods is just a moment when Sam has just rescued Frodo from the tower in Cirith Ungol, and Frodo takes the ring back from Sam, and just for a moment, and this is just great acting on Elijah Wood's part. Just for a moment, you see on Frodo's face, he looks like a junkie. Who's getting his fix. As he takes the ring back and puts it back around his neck. It's just almost like just this relief on his face. So kudos to Elijah Wood for that scene right there.
I second that. That is just it's a very subtle, but
my second good, miniatures. This movie features lots of miniatures. I love miniatures. Great miniature sets, whether it be what's it, Eridus or whatever, the capital city of Rohan, the Minas Tirith, Minas Morgul, the Black Gate. Oh, it's great. I love miniatures done right, and this movie does miniatures right. And my last one, I'm just gonna say Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
What a visionary this guy is. He just knows how to capture moments, how to frame scenes, when to go big, when to go small, and Peter Jackson just knocked it out of the park in this movie.
Absolutely.
So hey, Oz, those were our goods. What are your 2 bads for Return of the King?
My first one is the Eowyn's "I am no man" takedown of the Witch King. It's nothing gender based at all, but it just it didn't even detract. It just felt like this is the most powerful ring ray there is. Like, this is the guy. And it's like, no man can kill me. And it's like, they just put so much emphasis on the fact that no man can kill me.
Yes.
That it just was like, oh, it's kind of snore fest. Like, there's one woman in the warrior troop, and naturally they go head to head, and naturally she's like, I am no man, and down he goes. Like, it seemed like the blast port and the first Death Star. Like,
it was a little too on the nose.
A little too much there. So that's my first bad.
Well, I will say one of my alternate goods was the Witch King's mace.
Oh yeah, sweet.
Like he gets knocked off his fell beast, and he takes out that gigantic mace.
Yeah,
that's like the size of a small car.
He's whipping around a Kia.
Yeah, the hamsters are sitting on it, like flying everywhere.
Scion on the a smart car. Oh, my second bad is the 47 endings to this movie.
Yes,
it's like a full half hour of you wrap it up. Oh, you saved them. All right, everybody's good. And it's like, first we have to hit our Star Warsian. We have to see what's going on in every planet. Like that's kind of how it feels. Like, let's go here and let's go there and let's go over here, and it's fine. They wrap it all up. We get to see how it ends, but it just never stops coming.
One of my alternate bads is a kind of a self-owned bad, where like I'm getting annoyed at the false endings, and then they're at the Grey Havens and Frodo's hugging his friends goodbye, and now I'm crying. It's like, I want to be mad right now, and now I'm crying.
Like, cut out everything between that and now, and just because that's really the only ending we care about. And that's an ending. Even like the other friends were like, are there more endings? Nope. Frodo's leaving for real. Like, surprise them. Like, and but yeah, that's my second bad. Is just, of course, it's not literally 47 endings, but it's about 47 minutes of endings. It feels like. What are your two bads?
My two bads. I'm gonna go with Stuart Townsend. Was originally cast as Aragorn, and they decided at the last minute to replace him with Viggo Mortensen because they wanted somebody who looked a little older.
Good.
So poor Stuart Townsend. That really could have. Yeah, he's had a decent career, but this movie really, really launched Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah, he was with Aaliyah in Queen of the Damned.
Yeah, it's true. He got that going for him.
Yeah, it's like because everybody's favorite vampire movie, Queen of the Damned.
Queen of the Damned. Yeah. My other bad is going to be Gollum body shaming Sam.
Yeah.
Keeps calling him the fat one.
Yeah.
Come on, be better than that, Gollum.
You
don't talk about other people's bodies.
To be fair, Gollum, everyone's fatter than you.
That's true.
It's not fair.
when your diet consists of one raw fish every other month.
Right.
Yeah. It's all protein. Fat one.
You should have eaten the lambus bread. It would have helped you.
Yeah, put some carbs in there. Yeah, get some meat back on your bones.
Oh,
yeah.
Good.
Those are my two bads.
Good bad.
Yep. So hey, Oz, what's your one?
Why didn't they use the giant flying eagles more often?
Yeah.
They seem to be quite the problem solver.
Yeah. Hey, where them eagles at?
Yeah. Could have shaved a few hours off the trilogy with, like, they already had, Gandalf had them.
Just have the eagle fly and drop the ring directly. Yeah. Just bloop. Yep.
It's over.
It'd be like tossing a penny into the fountain.
Yeah. It's like, you already had them. It's like, it's like when a taxi drops you off and then you have to hail another taxi. Just get in.
Just take the taxi.
Right. Exactly like that. So that's my bad. Just why didn't they use the flying eagles more often? So what's your bad?
Oh, let's see. I'm checking mine out here. I got several.
What's your huh?
My huh? Yeah. I got a couple. I'll go with a couple alternate huhs first. In The Path to the Dead, again, this was another extended edition moment. There's a scene where Aragorn and Gimli and Legolas are trying to get out of this room, and there's like skulls, like human skulls, just following everywhere. Which one of those ghost soldiers got the job of separating the skull from the rest of the body and collecting all the skulls together and then piling them up?
It's probably Bootstrap Bill.
Bootstrap Bill,
Legolas
get over there.
Bad Bootstrap Bill.
Take these skulls, put them behind that wall. I don't care what you do with the other 205 bones.
Right? You just joined the army right before we were ghostified, so it's your job, Private.
You separate those skulls. My second fake ha is when I saw this movie, I saw this movie with one of my cousins. Again, I saw it several times in the theater, but I saw it with my cousin Stuart one time. And I distinctly have this memory of Shelob goes to sting Frodo, like the scene that you played out before, and right before Shelob plunges its stinger into Frodo, my cousin leans over and goes, "Mithril," because Frodo has that Mithril shirt on. So where exactly did Shelob sting Frodo?
The groin. Yeah.
Like at 21 Jump Street.
Yeah. Yep.
You shot me in the...
Right. Shelob knows what's going up.
Yeah.
You can tell Mithril. But you're right. You're
I mean,
right.
I guess that's one way to... I'm not going to finish that sentence.
Because, they
PG
take the Mithril from Frodo later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right in the groin.
Got him.
Bullseye!
Right. At least Frodo turned around before he got before Shelob got him.
Right in the groin. Ooh, that's gonna sting. My real ha is so after my fake ha's. My real ha is the Faramir Denethor pyre scene. So. They're on the top level of Minas Tirith, and they're behind the buildings, and Denethor is completely engulfed in flames, like a Melvin's on fire from the Toxic Avenger moment.
Right.
He's completely, or like in old school where Will Ferrell's in the mascot outfit is completely engulfed in flames.
Yeah.
And Denethor, he must have run a half a mile while completely on fire from behind these buildings all the way down that gigantic slab that sticks out and then plunges to his death. So how far, my exact count is, how far did Denethor run while completely on fire?
As far as Uncle Rico can throw a football. Quarter mile. He threw it over those mountains.
He did throw it over the mountains.
Yeah, this does predate Stop, Drop, and Roll though. Denethor didn't know what to do.
They didn't have that kind of technology.
He knew there was water somewhere at the base of that cliff, and so you don't think straight when you're on fire.
When you're not just on fire, like every part of you is engulfed.
Well, it doesn't help that granted, he was trying to burn himself alive, and he succeeded.
Yes, he did.
But it's he was drenched in the most viscous.
Yeah. Yeah, that was quite viscous.
Yes,
like 10W40.
There was no absorbency in that
No.
in that lubricant that he had.
He dumped some Pennzoil all over himself.
Right. I don't think KY's flammable, Denethor, but you did it.
So that's my ha and Oz. That wraps up the Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
We are finished with episode 95.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, next week, episode 96, and the final week of Return Month. We will be covering an animated film.
Yes.
We are going to be covering, I don't care what year it is, 19 something. We're going to be covering Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. Mm-hmm. Because we just gave up 4.5 hours of time to this, so we're going to go with the
Yes,
hour.
we needed to take it a little easy after
We're going to go to the hour and change mark.
Yes.
For the next one. So we will be back to wrap up Return Month with Batman Beyond. I always want to say Batman Begins, and I know it's not right. Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. We also will be unveiling September's theme, which will feature movie number 100 of the podcast.
Yes, it will. Big moment.
Yes.
Let's talk about flicks.
Yes. The 100th week of the show. which, of course, we're celebrating episode 100 when, like, literally a month later, we're hitting the 2-year mark. So, full of celebration.
Yay!
Yeah, we will be unveiling the new theme for September of 2023. But first, we do have to cover Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. Social media-wise, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. There is a link to Patreon down below if you'd like to join the circus of Patreon subscribers.
Toss some coins into our coffers.
The bearded lady, the geek, and the freak show. I don't know, whatever. You guys are great. We love you.
Korak Daddy.
Yeah, Korak Daddy and Don S.
The real Korak Daddy.
The real Korak Daddy.
Don S.
Yeah, he looks like a Korak seed.
He does.
Yeah, I don't know if you play video games or not, Don S, but yeah.
Take it as a compliment.
I also look like a Korak seed, so. But yeah, that wraps up another episode of Let's Talk About Flicks. I'm Oz.
I'm Curtis.
And we'll see you guys next week with Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker.